Hello everyone and welcome to this episode of the Noble Crumb. My name is Jason. So today I'm bringing you a really fun cookie recipe and something that's maybe not your everyday cookie. So these ones are known as my kitchen sink cookies. The reason for that is you're going to see there's some interesting ingredients that go into it to really create this sweet and salty and completely enjoyable cookie. I really can't wait to show you guys this one. So yeah, get ready to try something that you might think is a little bit strange and unusual, but
I myself am strange and unusual.
So here is everything you're going to need to make our kitchen sink cookies. And here are the ingredients for my kitchen sink cookies. 1 cup of butter, 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar, 1/2 cup of white sugar, 1 egg, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 2 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1.5 cups of chocolate chips, 1 cup of toffee bits, 1 cup of crushed plain potato chips, and 1/2 cup of crushed pretzels. We're going to chill the cookie dough balls for 1 hour before we bake. We're going to bake them at 350 degrees for 12 to 14 minutes. We're going to let them cool on the pan for 5 minutes before we transfer them to the cooling rack. And obviously, get creative and have lots of fun with different mix-ins and candies and chocolates and nuts, whatever you desire. Alright, so to start my kitchen sink cookies, I've got my stand mixer here fitted with my paddle attachment. I'm going to start by adding my 1 cup of butter that I have at room temperature. Next, I'm going to move on to my white sugar. So that's 1/2 cup of white sugar. And my brown sugar, which is 3/4 of a cup, and it is packed in my measuring cups here. 1/2 cup, and now we'll do 1/4. So there we go. Perfect. So now we're going to turn this on and we're going to let this cream until it's really nice, light, and fluffy. Remembering to scrape down the bowl as needed, which usually is a few times. And anytime you scrape down your bowl, remember to get right down to the bottom because that's where everything likes to end up resting. So I'm just going to let this go for a few minutes. I would say probably about 10 minutes I'll probably let this cream for, and then we'll start adding in our egg. All right, so this is creamed together really nice. I'm just going to give this one final scrape down. Everything looks nice, light, and fluffy. Fantastic. Okay. So now with this, I'm going to add in my vanilla next. So it's my vanilla. And I'm going to add in my 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And then I'm going to crack in the 1 egg. And then at this point, I'll give it 1 good whip to get everything combined together. Okay, now that everything has been whipped together, I'm going to move this off to the side and we will start adding in our dry ingredients. Okay, so moving on to our dry ingredients, I've got a clean mixing bowl here. And to that, I'm going to add in 2 cups of flour. There's 1 and 2. And next up, we're going to add in our baking soda. So that was 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And then moving on to the salt, so we're going to add our half a teaspoon of salt. If I can get that in there. And then at this point, I'm just going to use my whisk, combine this all together so that it's all kind of cohesive and spread throughout. And then we're going to start adding these to our wet ingredients. Okay, so moving back to my stand mixer here, I'm going to start adding in about half of this flour mixture, and I'll give it a quick mix just so I don't have everything in there at once and then I end up with a big flour bomb everywhere. And then at this point, I'm just going to add in the other half of the flour. Now, the trick is when you're adding, for cookies, I should say, when you're adding in your dry ingredients, do not overmix your batter because you don't want to overwork the glutens in that flour. You want a nice, soft, and tender cookie. So just let this go just until I can see pretty much all the flour is mixed. And now we're going to start adding in our extra ingredients for the mix-ins. Give this one final scrape down. And it looks good. Just scrape that last little bit in there. Okay, I think we're good. So first up, I'm going to add in my chocolate chips. So that was 1.5 cups. And I'm using the semi-sweet chocolate chips. Half a cup in there, perfect. And then something really, really good, we're going to add in our toffee bits. So this is a cup of toffee bits. I found them just in my baking section. Weren't hard to find at all. And now the controversial ingredients, we're going to add in our half a cup of chopped pretzels and our 1 cup of regular potato chips. Like I said, don't knock this till you tried it. It's an amazing combination. So now I'm going to turn this on and just mix it until it's combined, and that's it. Again, do not overmix your batter. And now that this is all looking mixed in well, I'm going to start making my cookies. Now, when it comes to adding different mix-ins to your cookies, have fun with it. Please be as creative as you want. You can use different kinds of nuts. You can use different kinds of like dried fruit. I've had people use different kinds of like dried cereal before to create kind of a different flavor. So please have fun in the kitchen. This is baking. Enjoy it. But let me know your different combinations that you might come up with. Okay, so we've got our cookie dough here and everything's looking good. So now I'm basically going to go ahead and form the cookie balls. So I'm going to be using I think this is about a 2-inch scoop here, just so I can kind of get consistency as far as sizing goes. I've got my cookie sheet here and covered with parchment paper, and I did give it a quick spray with some cooking spray. And again, this couldn't be simpler. We're just going to do this, scoop at a time, and I'm going to do rows of 3 and then 2 and then 3, and just because they're gonna spread out a little bit when we bake them. But yeah, really simple, really easy. Get these all spread out. All right, now that the cookie balls have been formed, we're going to put these in the fridge for an hour to chill. And of course, right when I put these in the fridge, I forgot. Basically, what you want to do before putting them in the fridge is just pat down the cookie balls and flatten the tops a little bit. Just helps when they're baking. So I'm just going to flatten these with my 2 fingers, and then they'll go in the fridge for the hour. All right, so my cookie dough has been in the fridge for an hour. They're looking great. So now they're going to go into the oven at 350 for about 12 to 14 minutes. So one of the things you might be asking is, why are we chilling the dough before we bake it? So it's not necessary for all cookie doughs. I personally like doing it with this one just because throughout the process we're really whipping and creaming that butter, which is going to make it soft. Once you throw soft butter into a hot oven, it melts it really quick, and I like a cookie that's not going to be completely thin and kind of crispy. I want it to be a little bit thicker and have like that chewy factor to it. So if you were making this and you don't chill your dough, they're really going to spread out, get really big and flat, and then that would kind of adjust your cooking time to get them to the consistency, and you do run the risk of burning them. So I highly recommend chilling your dough first for these ones. And in that quick amount of time, our cookies are done. We're going to pull them out of the oven. Now, at this point, it's really important. Leave them on the pan for about 5 minutes to set up because they are super soft. And then we'll just transfer them onto our cooling rack to cool completely. All right, so after 5 minutes, I'm good to move my cookies to my cooling rack here. They are going to be still a bit soft, so be careful when you're moving them. But these look absolutely fantastic. I really can't wait to hear what you guys think of them. It's always fun trying a new recipe and something that's a little bit different. So enjoy. All right, and those are my kitchen sink cookies. I really hope you guys are brave enough to try them, and the combination with the salt and the sweetness doesn't freak you out a bit. I personally, I can't get enough of them, and I'm probably going to end up eating this whole batch. But yeah, they're absolutely delicious, so please try them and let me know what you think. As always, please like, subscribe, comment. You guys have been blowing up my channel, and again, I can't thank you enough. This is just being the greatest journey so far. So for today, that's it for the Noble Crumb, and I will see you guys soon. Have a great day. Bye.